Boom chakalaka. Boom shakalaka. It's coming at you. Live from the Devil Doc Studios, it's the Devil Doc Talk Show. Brought to you in part by nothing, because nobody sponsors us. Anyways, moving forward. Hey everybody, I just wanted to say hello. I wasn't going to be recording for quite some time, but I got bored today. A little drunk last night, and I started writing, and I was like, fuck, this shit makes too much stupid sense to not share. So I was like, all right, cool. Let me go ahead. Let me talk to my wife this morning. I talked to her like probably about, 30 minutes. And I was like, do you think I should be able to try and sum this up in about 5 to 10 minutes? And she goes, yeah, you should be able to do that. So I'm trying. And this is the topic: how to identify psychological norms and, I should say, unnorms within PTSD, as well as the perceived societal psychology as us, a society, the United States, currently, what it is, what's going on with certain views. Why do we feel so animalistic towards certain things, right? The reason why I want to focus on that is because I feel that people rush to decisions too fast about perceived knowledge. And the way I talk about perceived knowledge is just this: if you see somebody or hear somebody that has PTSD, you may have perceived instantaneously, just based off of that limited amount of knowledge, that they're a psychopath that's willing to shoot up a church and all this crazy other bullshit. Other things are correlated with certain diseases like SSRI use and all this other bullshit that's going on within this PTSD world. Now, the problem is nobody's going in or discussing any differentiation or subgroups or categories or how people can get PTSD, different methods and different ways, coping mechanisms, all this different shit. No, we just want to bluntly label a mass of people that have PTSD. Like, there is no ownership on the limitation on that. There's rape, there's murder, there's all that different shit. And then there's war, and then there's fucking car accidents, and drug abuse could be also PTSD shit. Medical care can end up in PTSD. All this stuff is effective, but if you were to tell a police officer, hey, that dude has PTSD, you need to treat that. No, they're going to come at that guy with a gun on their hand. That's the way it is. Why? Because they are going to go straight to the worst case scenario. Now, that's the reason why I'm trying to discuss the reason is the two positives and negatives. Even within that statement, people are probably going, no, police officers are highly trained. No, they're not. They're actually not trained whatsoever in certain things and highly trained in other things. You see how that works out, right? But if I were to say, are you trained to handle a PTSD veteran or any individual with a mental illness, period? Because PTSD is not a mental illness, it is a mental condition. Now, there's a different thing to that too. If you can't understand the differentiation between a disorder, a condition, and an illness, then maybe you need to do a little bit more research for yourselves. Watch. If a condition is based off of the person has the same characteristics, principles, ideals, and even intelligence, that is a condition. His mental status is conditioned to feel a certain way. There is no way you're going to be able to recondition that by treating that person negatively. Like this: if a cop responds to a man that may have not been in war or combat during that time, or they report back to you or the person that made a phone call and just say, maybe you should mind your own business, that would have ended a lot of different things, right? But here's the cases, right? The cases are cops killing veterans because they don't understand how to handle situations or de-escalate. Now, the reason why I want to focus on de-escalation really quick before we move on to my main point of this 5 to 10 minute conversation is de-escalation in all life walks help people, okay? Read a book, pick up something, take a look. It's in a book. It's a Reading Rainbow. Anyways, so what I'm saying is look at the shit on life, okay? Taekwondo is a really great resource for me, not only spiritually, but in conditioning. Now, when you look at other things like Muay Thai, you look at even like Billy Blank's that Tai Bo shit, okay? There is a walk of life. There's a psychological conditioning going on in all of that. Same thing in the military, okay? You're being conditioned to think a way. So let's refix that conditioning. Let's change the inputs and put different outputs as well. Because just like in audio engineering, I was able to learn how to rewire shit that wasn't working. And It's just like your brain, really. Okay. The reason why I want to focus on all these structured conversation skills is so we can end up on a good point. Now, this is just your brain, right? Your brain can be plugged in and plugged out. What am I saying here? Well, just like police can be trained or not trained, nobody understands at the first confrontation or presentation of information, okay? When you walk onto a scene as an officer, I highly recommend you are prepared for the worst case scenario. But I also hope you are trained for the best case scenario, meaning de-escalation, no intervention, and no paperwork. That's the best stuff for everybody, right? At least for me. For me, I don't like paperwork, so my point is, if we can get police officers trained, right? Or at least people to understand when there is an actual threat or non-threat, or what PTSD is, we can circumvent so many different things that cost us thousands and thousands of dollars as taxpayers, potentially millions and potentially billions when you look at potential lawsuits, wrongful death cases, medical fucking sentinel events, all that shit, right? What I want to focus on, though, is that simple mentality of that preconceived notion in your brain that's rewired or wired to think this person is an absolute threat and there's no de-escalation value in the situation. How do you manage that? Now, as a security personnel, or if you're on post or on guard, I do not recommend you treat every single case as a potential de-escalation event, okay? Sometimes you see and or have an intuition of something completely different. And honestly, we have to, as a society, accept that there are certain people trained to sense a certain urge of violence about to occur. Not necessarily because they're predicting shit. It's because it's mathematics, okay? You can tell if you're going to get laid tonight, right? If you do the math right, you can add shit up pretty good. And that's what a lot of dudes are trained out to do. You want to look at the best and worst case scenarios and go, hey, what's the mathematics here? How can I de-escalate this situation? I don't want to shoot this guy. We're talking clearly this isn't a fucking immediate thing. Maybe I should calm down. Police officers don't do that. Why? Because they are threatened right now. Everybody's fucking threatened, but cops actually got a fucking target on their back. They always have, but now more so than ever. Now, here's the point of my discussion earlier with my wife was, if you can see a positive, negative, and negative positive, why can't you focus on both the positives or both the negatives and substantiate or equalize, add a ground, put that bitch in balance, right? That's basic electrical engineering for you. Positive, negative, ground, right? That's going to give you the best current ever. Now, if you don't have a ground and you just have positive and negative energies, you're going to have a lot of fluctuation going on. And that's what we have as a nation going on as a whole. But let's go ahead and focus on police right now. De-escalation is not occurring. That is a negative, okay? The positive is people are now aware of it. Now, I know that's not really a great positive, like, oh, cops are doing a good job. They're not. Nobody's doing a good job. The president's not doing a good job. Congress is not doing a good job. But worst of all, people, you, us, me, you, and everybody included, we're not doing shit of a job. We want Hillary Clinton, fucking Jeb Bush, and Donald Trump. To me, it sounds like a fucking retard movie that's coming out and somebody's like B-rate fucking movies shit, like bullshit. That's all this is. I'm looking at it going, all right, our positive mentality is what? We need old answers? Okay. Then let's read up on old answers. De-escalation has been proven in every society to work, as long as it's a win-win for both the society and the people that are in current control and or authority. Now, if you do not have a mutual standpoint or any kind of familiarity, you both have targets on your back from each other, may I remind you what occurred with the Bloods and the Crips? It's the same shit. If you think you're different from this, but you are actually the same, then you will always be divided. Because your belief actually dictates actuality. Do you see how that works? When you're an insane idiot or a psychopathic radical, you cannot differentiate the two. So as a society of American culture, we should be able to look at both the de-escalation of, political and societal effects and policies, as well as the de-escalation effect on treatment and care and what our substandards or standards are. Meaning, if I know there is an outcry within a veteran community, but I'm preoccupied with my shit because, it's hard to raise kids, then why should I give a fuck? It's stressful, right? Well, that's fucking negative. That's a very, very, very big negative. I shouldn't be focused because I can't be burdened with that negativity. That's the current society psychological state. I don't want to be burdened with your bullshit. I have enough of my own bullshit. Fuck you, buddy. That is everybody. And if you think you know somebody, call them up and ask them for help, and watch. As soon as you fucking beg, they're going to say, oh, yeah. And honestly, I can say without a doubt, for the past 5 or 6 years, I have so much data accumulated on all that shit that the thing that I'm actually writing and things that I'm actually doing, which nobody currently understands or knows because plainly nobody's inquisitive enough to ask. What I'm saying is clearly I'm collecting data, okay? Now, on this positive and negative data chart, I'm looking at leaders and celebrity and veterans, big names, all the small names, all the leaders and all the, I'd say, money-making industries in the veteran community, and going, this is the positives and negatives of it. That's the truth. You can fix them and be better, but there is no way you're going to be able to deny it now. That's the reason why I like talking the way I do. It makes you actually think. By going like this, watch. If you can still focus on the de-escalation of police force and also understand why that's important for a veteran community to go, maybe we need to de-escalate and chill the fuck out, go ahead and ice our tits. We need to relax. Everybody does. It came to me yesterday when I was breathing with my family. I was just hanging out, right? And my neighbor came by and brought me a Bloody Mary. It was delicious. Now, I got a little fucked up, don't get me wrong. But in that middle of fucked up, I felt amazing again because I numbed up the bullshit and I just focused on me and my wife. And we had fun and my kids had fun. We had a beautiful day. Then I slept really good. I woke up a little hungover, all that bullshit. But you know what? Here's the good things. I remembered something. About my past. I remember the fact that no matter what it was, adversity has always been fun for me. And I laugh in the face of death. I don't say that lightly. I look at it and go, yeah, everybody owes death, okay? We all owe each other one death. Why not make your life worth living and a death worth dying then? Why not try something different, right? Now, the reason why I'm trying to also focus on that today is because I'm trying to make this as short as possible. When you go ahead and look at death in the face and go, yeah, all right, what is it you think of when you are going to die? How do you feel you're going to die? You don't think of that shit. You don't want to carry the burden of that negativity, right? Well, the same shit goes on in your mind of why you don't want to burden yourself with somebody that may or may not commit suicide. Why you may not want to burden yourself with a veteran issue if you're not a veteran, or if you're a veteran making it and you have millions of dollars or thousands of dollars or a business. You're not going to concern yourself with the bottom feeder because you think by focusing on the top dogs, you're only going to make it good for everybody. That's not how it works. It never has worked that way. That's the reason why it's as fucked up as it is now, right? Why? Because you're focusing on a positive negative that doesn't exist. You're feeding into a positive that is recycling into that positive and not giving back to any negative positives or positive negatives, or definitely any negative negatives. Now, if you look at electrical current, let me just go ahead and describe that for you. A positive is a recurrent and a concurrent source of energy. It's really what we're trying to get after, right? In all of engineering and development. It is producing its own energy, and it's all that different stuff by itself. It doesn't need a sustainable source. It stores, recreates, and uses energy upon itself. It doesn't need anything more. Self-sustaining, positive, right? Now, if you look at the negative positives in society, let's go ahead and say the negative positive on the left side here is going to be, the negative is people are hypersensitive all around the culture in the United States of America. You can't make a joke about a faggot. You can't say anything about a big old weird fucking pussy man thing. You can't even use words like spick, Jew, nigger, kike. You can't even get mad at an ignorant fool and call him a fucking asshole anymore. It's the truth. You can't use words like that even in a joke. Now, the reason why I said it that way and all those words in a slew is so you can't look at me and go, oh, he just likes saying those words. No, I'm saying those words so I can say them once. You can go back and replay them and go, you can't even fucking say that shit as a free man, but you still think you live in a free country. Now I'm going to ask you, why is it that Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, and fucking Larry the Cable Guy all agree that everybody in our society is being such a fucking pussy right now? We can't take a joke. But that's everybody. That's not just the veteran community. That's everybody. That's the United States of America, and it's been that way for quite a while. But when you look at why, Let's digest that. What's the de-escalation of that, right? Or I'd say de-escalation of that. What is the de-escalation of, no, I am not a hypersensitive pussy, right? Well, you are. So how do you de-escalate from that hypersensitivity, right? I don't know. That's a personal issue. I don't get sensitive like that. So it's hard for me to understand. Now, if you look at it as the positive, what's the positive? We are becoming aware of societal issues and also emotional, psychological, and human and planetary issues. We are literally at the cusp of enlightenment simply because we are hyper aware of everybody's fucking issues. Daddy issues, mommy issues, vagina issues, penis issues, ass issues. Bill Maher, made a great joke about how you can't say it. You can focus on Kim Kardashian's ass, but you can't focus on her stepdad's tits. Now, that made me laugh. I fucking laughed so hard because I was like, that's true. You can't even make a joke about something anymore. You can't. Look at society. They're too sensitive. Now, the positive is clearly people can take advantage of it, turn it around, and make it a good thing, right? Nobody's doing that right now, okay? That's the simple math of that. Now, when you look at the positive, negative on the enforcement side, that's the other discussion, right? The authority figures in the banks. The positive is we are out of a kind of depression in our economic stance, a different type. But we're entering into a different other one of debt and not understanding how to alleviate different taxes while also not cutting to death our securities and investments. We don't know how to self-sustain as Americans. We are a consuming nation. Correct? That's okay as long as we understand that through consumership, we also have to have some form of sustainment simply because of the mathematics in that, right? We can't have a positive, negative, and expect that positive never dwindle down unless we're re-putting in more and more energy because we know energy only travels with positivity, correct? That's easy. Now, when we go back to that ground conversation, right, where is our mutual point? It used to be that our nation was founded on individual rights, our Constitution, our free liberties, our amendments, everything, our free will, and our happiness. In fact, I just watched a fucking old Disney cartoon that showed Donald Duck about to kill himself because he got halved up, and the Sarge Pluto dude was like chasing him around, and he got halved up by the fence, and he was like crying, and everybody was crying, and I was like, dude, this is fucking horrible for a kid to watch. But I was like, not really. It's funny. Like, he didn't kill himself. He was just like, oh, I'm going to put, Harry Carey, I'm pretty much dead, halved. And I'm going, yeah, I remember that in a movie, that Dewey Cox movie, that Walk Hard, right? Where he halved his brother. I'm going, that's actually replatable. That's funny. But the problem is, when we look at everything else in society, right, we can't look at that and go, well, there was just, tons of stabbing deaths in China. Now, how does that correlate? Simple. We can't carry the burden of that negative, but we'll freely carry the burden of a stupid imaginary negative and pretend like we could understand what the fuck that actually was as a society, which is insanity because you're fucking psychopaths with that. You don't understand what it means to have a group of 40 to 50 men or whatever the fuck it was attack a group of hundreds with knives and blades and shit and kill 30 people. Nobody's seen that yet on a repeated basis. There is no surviving that. You can't survive 30 fucking knives and you got what, yourself? No, you're running, dude. That's it. Pick up your kid, pick up your wife, fucking run. Now, if you're in a society like the United States of America, the main reason why that doesn't happen, what do you think it would be best to do to prevent that? If you live in the United States of America where we still have the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, all the fucking amendment rights, but we forget it and we forget how to utilize them. And the worst part, that means where our intelligence is degrading. So if we do not know how to utilize our God-given rights, not government-given rights, God-given rights, and our nation is now blaspheming against every God-given right that we have been given by our God, and we're going, you don't have to mutually agree on what that God is. You don't have to agree mutually on what that religion is, how you attain that God. All we know is that the United States of America has always been founded by a Christian, Judeo-Christian, a biblical, or some form of group that says, we believe in an all-powerful thing. That's it, right? However, when we read those things, those books, right, we see a very degradatory type thing going on, right? Look at how we're eliminating the words God. We're eliminating the words Christian, freedoms, liberties. We're removing certain things that everybody values in this nation. And why? Because of political correctness. Now, what's the positive, negative on those, right? Now, let's go back to the Bill Maher joke. You can't really say things anymore, so I can't say, I just want to be able to shoot somebody in the fucking face if I ever need to. That's the fucking truth. I don't care. If I'm needing to shoot somebody in the fucking face, I'm pretty sure, I need to. At that point in time, it's probably more important if me, as a man, Joseph Richard Martinez, and I've been to war and I've been trained in weapons ever since I was about 4. Yeah. And I'm going, hey, if I know it's time to shoot somebody in the fucking face, then it's probably time to shoot somebody in the fucking face. I don't need a government. I don't need a daddy. I don't need a mommy. I don't need anybody to come up to me and say, hey, go ahead and pull that trigger, buddy. I live in the United States of America, okay? I'm not egotistical in that, right? What I'm saying is, don't bring your fucking bullshit to my country and don't expect me to not shoot you in the fucking face. That's the truth of it all. Now, as a nation, nobody's saying that at all. Like, nobody wants to say, hey, look, it's cute that you're fucking dematerializing everything the majority of Americans believe in. But we'll shoot you in the fucking face if you go too far. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's standing up and going, hey, you're really pushing shit too far. Gays don't give a fuck about straights because they're too focused on fucking gays. And straights are too focused on gays. So nobody's focused on straights or fucking straight rights. Nobody's even focusing on the fact that a California state veteran organization that dedicates themselves to LGBT and nobody else exists, but doesn't see a problem in that. Nobody sees a problem in that shit, right? That there's an exclusive programs if you're gay for military and veterans to go to, for them to get fucking shit sped up and help because they're gay. Just because they're gay. Not because of fucking anything else. And I'm going, to me, isn't that kind of counterproductive? It's like saying you don't like bullies, so you beat up the bully. No, now you're the fucking bully, you idiot. No, you can't fight in order to correct a wrong, right? But now when you look at all these other rights, right? Like marriage rights and all these religion rights. Now religious rights can't even fucking exist because, well, I should say they do as long as you're Muslim or Buddhist and not Christian. As long as you're not Christian or Jew, you are allowed to have any kind of freedom in the world because of political correctness. Now, if you're if you're a Jew, a Christian, or even a certain type of Muslims, that's true. Yeah, there you go. That's reality. There's certain sects of Muslims and different types of people that practice in different tribes that, yeah, they actually align more with Christianity and Judaism, but nobody wants to talk about that shit. Also, the mere fact that there's more Christians in the world, not necessarily compared to Muslims, but when you look at it compared to any other religious group, I'm pretty sure it's important to value what their concerns are. That's it. Even Jehovah's Witnesses, fucking Latter-day Saints, Scientologists, all these fucking weird groups say we believe in something, a higher power. But we're not allowed to actually believe, say, follow, utilize, or do anything with that. You're not. You're not even allowed to proclaim that you love God and say, no, that's the reason why I'm doing all this stuff. Because people will judge you. Look at me. Like, that's the reason why I quit fucking doing the show for a while, was because I used medical marijuana, cannabis, right? Everybody fucking turned up, went home. I'm okay. That's very judgmental, all right? But they turn around and say, we want to help our veterans. And I go, you want to help them by force feeding them chemicals, pills, and fucking bullshit therapy, but you don't want to help them get something that actually works because of your preconceived knowledge. You don't want to de-escalate what you've created by the insanity of what people's concept or perception of is medical cannabis. You don't want to materialize that absolute fucking wall, that Berlin Wall. You don't want to focus on that psychological fucking stuck point in society that says we're idiots and we all deserve to get blown up to shit. Like, if there is a meteorite in the world flying around the universe, God's going, hey, can one of you get it so I don't have to smack this motherfucker in you guys? I really don't want to set the reset button. You're almost there. Now, that's the reason why I'm focusing on the positive, negative. That sounds like a negative, right? To have a reset of the entire humanity that exists. Well, here's the truth. There's a lot of people trying to do that personally. Look at every government, every organization. Look at every billionaire. There's investments in this shit. And I'm not saying inoculations, immunizations are a route to actually, I don't know, what's the word here, sterilize and eliminate future generations of certain demographics or classes in the world. But yeah, that's pretty obvious. Duh. That's what everybody says to do. Why? Because there's a lot of beliefs that go on and on and on and on. There's conspiracy theories that go on and on and on. But here's the thing. If you believe in that shit more than you believe in a God that can fix all this shit by you looking for it, by working hard, then I'm pretty positive you're going to go chasing that fucking answer. That's the truth. If you think you're going to get a return of interest, 30% instead of 15, if you work a little harder, they're going to go for that 30%. It's conductivity. It's electronics, man. It's fucking basic electrical fucking current. Look at the electromagnetic flow of that, right? If I go to this 15%, it's slightly less, but it's still more than what I currently have, but it's slightly less, but it's more investment and more adversity. So why would I go through that? Well, because if you go to the short answer, there's going to be a catch. There always is. There's always a catch on that ROI that comes up way more than this ROI. And you have little or less to do on that one than you do to this one that's less. That's the truth. And these are how bankers and fucking economists and everybody function. They're huge, all life existence. It's based off our percentages. If that 5.2 comes in too short or comes in too hard, we don't know what the effect is going to be. So we need it at 5.1. And that happened. That was a LIBOR scandal. So what I'm saying is, even on the most basic of levels, nobody's looking out for each other, even on the most severe or negative of levels. When you get in a car accident, you're probably going to get more fucked up by the people who respond to that car accident because of the shit training here in California. In fact, you're also going to probably be shot by a cop because of the shit training here in California. So if you even call for help, you're probably going to get more fucked up in the state of California than you are going to get help. And that's just looking at the demographic of going, well, if I wanted a return of interest in my community, right, of 15%, you're going to have to work hard. But you don't want that. You want a 30% and focus on your own life, right? You want that 30% ROI, and that's what every politician is offering you. In fact, they go, here's 60% ROI on your fucking goddamn shit, man. Bro, yeah, vote for me. Yeah! And you do it like an idiot. And guess what happens? That ROI doesn't even fucking ever come because it wasn't for you. They said, we're going to get you 60% ROI. They didn't say who that you was, and they were looking over you when they said that. You, and you thought they were talking to you. No, it was the guy over you, behind you. You remember when you waved that one time at somebody that you thought was waving at you? Nah, that's the same fucking situation with every politician that we have currently in any kind of fucking administration and any kind of judicial system. Everybody believes that way. No, it's for them, not you. So, you fucked up by going for that large ROI. Like a stupid idiot. All the Bibles say in every fucking book says, don't go for the large percent ROI because it's bullshit. The Jew book says that pretty much. It goes, hey, yo, don't fucking do that shit. It's stupid. I don't even know if they talk like that. I know they don't. That was more like a whoppish thing. Anyways, so what I'm saying here is when you look at that ROI, that fucking 30% or 60%, you're transfixed on it like an idiot. You're not looking at the fact that it's a carrot dangling from a stick. And you jackasses are pulling their carriage. So it's hard to even call you horses, sheep. No, jackasses is literally what it is. Elephants, no, man. You're Republican, you're still a jackass. All of everybody is a jackass right now. Why? Because nobody's focused on the real issues. They're getting allowed to paint psychological issues like white and black and cop and crime and negativity and this. But in actuality, there is no such thing as all this stuff that they're saying. There's such thing as racism as long as you put the importance on racism or racists or race. If you put any importance on any item in humanity, it becomes an issue and or a solvable problem. An issue is exactly that. That means, hey, there's a problem here, right? But when there's a problem, that also means, hey, there's an answer here, right? we wouldn't be having a problem if there wasn't an answer. That's the way I see it. And if you want to say, yeah, but our problems are way too big and they're super complicated, well, then simplify them. De-escalate the situation like our police forces and military should be doing every day. As well as our administrators or politicians, everybody should be attempting to de-escalate a situation, not escalate a situation to make more money. That's the stupidest fucking thing you ever pretend to believe in, because if you go to a war that kills the majority of your populace, as well as includes a deterioration of your constitution and your nation, what did you sustain, you idiot? Nothing. You killed off so much and you destroyed so much to do what for yourself? To have a little fucking 40-acre piece, you take a fucking $10,000 bid from some fucking lobbyist group, you put a fucking stamp on a race car, you fucking put a stamp on a movie, you fucking make a movie. That shit isn't gonna fucking fly, dude. None of it is. As long as there's not a familiar standpoint, right? If there's no ground, all that energy is gonna fluctuate upward to that positive, because that's your perceived positive, are those people with all those trillions and billions and fucking gold dollars, right? You're an idiot. Why do you think they want you so bad? Because they don't know that shit and you do. But guess what? If you were to just turn around and just do so much more for the own community that you exist out of, you would then become one of them even more so. Because of what? That's the way it is, bro. There's no other existence. There's positive. That's it. If you want to say there's positive, negative, yeah, because you accept the fact that there's a negativity, right? That's the same idea as this. Watch. When you walk up in a scene as a police officer or a first responder, and your first response is, fuck this guy. You fucked up, not that guy. Even if that guy is the fucking murderer, rapist, or fucking whatever, if you walk on scene and say, fuck that guy, you are the most worst of human beings. Why? Because even in combat, we fucking help our enemy. Cops don't even fucking help our citizens anymore. First responders don't give a fuck. They don't follow protocol. They don't fucking hold the C-spine. They don't fucking do shit. I watched this shit after a fucking motorcycle crash. And that's the reason why I'm just like, I will never, ever, hopefully never, ever need any of this shit in my life. I hope. Because if I do, oh, wow. And that's the same thing with the cops. Like my sister's story, when she called me, or she called the cops to, help me out with my next door neighbor shit that was going on. I'm going, everybody perceived me as a fucking psychopath. And I'm going, thanks, world. You called a guy with PTSD a psychopath just like everybody else. Good job. I'm not. You don't know what my PTSD is about, right? So how can you say I don't know when to shoot a fucking guy in the face? I didn't have to, but I was the guy that almost got shot in the face by cops. Do you see how I was protecting my family with my constitutional rights? I was threatened. I was verbally threatened, and then physically pushed and attacked, and then threatened again, and then I took the situation seriously. Now, I normally wouldn't have, but yeah, I know when it's time to fucking shoot somebody in the face. No, the worst part is, so do cops. And they come to me wanting to shoot me in the face. Nobody wants to listen to me because I have PTSD. Nobody wants to ask me what my PTSD is, or from what, or what the fuck happened to me, or what did I see, or what did I go through. I tell people some stories, but nobody understands what the fuck it is, right? That's because it's private. That's because you don't fucking deserve to know what the fuck I'm fucked up over, because you haven't helped me do shit. You don't deserve the fucking good. You don't deserve the bad. But what I can say is you deserve the indifference. And that's where I'm at in life as a man towards this community. But I have to at least say, if you follow the positive the rest of your life, and it's only the perceived knowledge positive, it might taste kind of like that positive, but it will never actually be a true positive. It just looks like it because you're an idiot. So, when we talk about Bibles, when we talk about de-escalation, when we talk about existence, right? Look at that whole spectrum of just talk, right? Let's look at it. We talk about religion. We talk about color, race. We talk about feminism, sexuality, all that different shit. And we talk about money. We talk about banking, investment. We talk about politics and government. We just talked about everything we're not supposed to ever talk about, right? But here's the problem. That's the only shit we fucking need to talk about because it's the only things we have problems with right now. And if we were to fucking focus just a little bit of energy on fixing actual problems than lining our pockets at all, because if you're in a position of authority going, no, I need to get paid, fuck y'all. Again, you've fucked up, not anybody else. Even if the person you're standing in front of is a fuck up, you're as equally a fuck up if you don't look at him and go, I need to help that American citizen. Don't get it. I look at an enemy down on the fucking floor in a war zone and still go, I got to help that human being. That's the type of fucking people we are as a community. Corman, majority of them. Okay? But when you fucking step out of that community, that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist because people don't accept it as it's actually true. And that's the only real actuality in this pure planet. This is just a planet, bro. And we're fucking in it. Okay? Now, when you look at it that way, shit gets pretty simple, right? You have a belief, I have a belief. I can't substantiate your belief. You can't substantiate my belief. Let's do this other word that I know exists. Let's respect each other. Respect. You know, I love that word because it means so much. I also hate that word because I get so little of it. Yeah, that's the truth. Respect is the number one thing in the world that would balance anything out. Let that be our ground. Let's not have a flag that nobody can agree on. No, everybody's getting mad about that. Let's not have a Democratic or a Republican or individual or independent or whatever. Let's not have an agency, a fucking organization, none of that. Let's just have mutual respect between every one of us American citizens and potential citizens. Let's not act like Donald Trump and say all Mexicans that are coming over the fucking border are all rapists and bad, because I'm pretty sure my wife is from Mexico and she's neither. So fuck you, right? I mean, honestly, that's the most real I can say. My wife is a black Mexican woman that we met in Mexico. Me and her met in Mexico. We paid thousands upon thousands of dollars to do it right. And when she finally came over here, we've been working for years to try and get her citizenry. But she already is one, technically, because her dad's American. And he already signed her birth certificate, everything a long time ago. But here's the problem. We don't know how to fucking get all that shit figured out, right? But here's the beautiful thing. People like Donald Trump could turn around and say all Mexicans are fucking horrible. And people will listen to it. Just like people will say, I want Obama to run for another third term, I would totally vote for him. And I'm going, what? It's like listening to two idiots fucking argue on what's the worst thing they could fucking possibly come up with and why they're more right on what's worse or better. It's horrible. That's the negative where I'm going, that's the actual negative. The negative that everybody perceives, which is poverty, third world countries, ghettos, blacks, Mexicans, Chinese, Filipino, Indonesians, Indians, Guatemalans, Guadalajarans, Peruvians, Chileans. Actually, do you notice how the white man is literally the only group that doesn't have a real distinct difference? Like, everybody's like, no, you're just the white guy, right? I look like a white guy. So guess how much bullshit I deal with on both sides of your racist bullshit that both of you actually have. And I'm saying this because my wife is black and Mexican. And I am not white. I am Costa Rican, Mexican, and Russian. Do you see how I'm not Indo or fucking Euro, anything? The Russian in me is probably a little bit more Eastern, if anything, okay? And that's cool. That's all right. I don't give a fuck. That shit was like thousands of years ago on my fucking grandpa's side. Not really. He immigrated from Russia, being in the Russian ballet with my aunt and everything. It was beautiful. Aunt, sorry. But here's the truth of it. It doesn't fucking matter. Those individuals didn't really align with the majority of my beliefs, even though we share a bloodline, right? Now, here's the beautiful thing. I share a bloodline with Mexicans and also blacks and all these other different cultures. But nobody seems to give a fuck about my input because I don't look black or this other culture. So The only people that like to listen to me are white people that are trying to learn about a different culture. And I'm going, yeah, see, they get it, because those white guys, they're in the same group as me. They're not really white guys. They just look pale, I guess. It's like a fucking light-skinned Spaniard, okay? That's the way I explain it. They're not white. Don't call them white. They're going to offend them. Just like calling a fucking Puerto Rican Costa Rican or Cuban. That's worse, I think. And now, when you look at that, right, how could I say that's worse? I don't fucking know that. I met more Puerto Ricans than I met Cubans, and I met more Cubans than I met fucking Cherokee Indians. So I'm like, nobody has a true context of what those subcategories truly are. And actuality is, they're the same as you. They shit, they sleep, they piss, they eat, and they fuck. Most definitely, because they're still around. If they all do that, and you do too, it's 2015, people. We should be able to figure it out. Maybe all that past shit is just literally that. Bullshit. And we can accept that and go, but it's good bullshit for some reasons because it motivated us to do good. We have to identify what that good is now. Identify it. We have to, again, set that ground. What is our term? What is our global term? We don't need a one world order, one new world order, all that shit. We need just one fucking commonality that unifies us all. Simply put, it should be respect. If it can't be love, let it be respect. That's almost as equal. Because you will definitely learn how to love through respect. That's going to happen. It always happens. Because when you respect something, when you look at something, when you put down your guard, your Berlin walls, and you actually look at that thing in front of you, you're going to realize it looks very much like you. It's almost freakishly the same. There's hardly any real difference when you look at us all, except maybe a little bit of tone of color, smell. Yeah, some people do smell. That's okay. That just means you're unique and you could be found very easily through scent. Sorry. So what my point is, when you look at all of us, the United States of America, right? When you ask yourself, what the fuck was he talking about in the beginning? It is the positive that I'm really trying to paint for you. There is no money that's going to fix any fucking problem. There's no gold. There's no fucking group out there fucking organizing shit. And if they are, guess who's fucking doing their work? You are, because you're an idiot filing a fucking invisible carrot. That's the truth. It's not even a real carrot now. They fucking took that carrot, and let's just go ahead and say, I'm talking about gold. You should be understanding this by now. Carrots rhyme with, go with gold. Okay, yeah. Now I see why he's talking about gold, why he's talking about carrots, why he's talking about finances, because our money's literally fucking cotton and shit. Worthless fucking paper. There's no support. We're in so much debt. Our own financial structure is about to implode on itself, and we bailed out. We bailed out the banks that are supposed to prevent this shit with $800 billion with no ROI pre-negotiated on their fucking loan or their bailout for the American people. That's fucking stupid. We didn't say, yeah, we're going to give you $800 billion. And if you don't pay this off in a year, we're going to double that. 50% ROI, motherfucker. Why? Because you fucking caused this shit. Here's your punitive consequence so you don't do this shit again. 50% ROI on every fucking loan we give you. Now, here's the worst part. If China were to do that to us, we'd be fucked. Why aren't we doing what fucking Iceland did? Get rid of all of our debt. Let's just go ahead and clear the books, okay? Mutual survivability is going to say, if we clear all our books, we start from fucking ground one again, there's going to be a lot more people around to solve the issues that we've created for each other. That's the fucking truth. Historically proven throughout all of humanity. You want to argue it? I'm still available to talk, baby. I'm here all day, every night, all day, all night, all day. That's all I do. Hang out, write, hang out with my wife and kids and listen to music and smoke my cannabis and make my coconut oil and drink my water and drink my beer, man. That's all I do. Now, do you see how I can separate what I do in my life and still look at everybody else's and go, but why can't we as a society do shit together? Not even in a veteran community, man. I gave up on that fucking train a long time ago. But again, for my writing, everything else I'm working on, I needed to continually push the issue because I didn't have enough data. I didn't want to believe in the data. That's the truth. Now I have enough data to really kind of show the world that, look, man, even in the veteran community, it's cutthroat. There's no fucking hope. There's nobody believing in us as a community to reestablish shit. They're just in it to, again, like I said, that positive. They're after that positive. They're not after the real positive effect of what you can be doing with even a simple word. Simple acknowledgement, simple fucking phone calls, and simple follow through. Customer service has gone to shit in this nation, and it's not because of individual rights. It's not because individual fucking anything, but else the lack of respect. There's no lack of individual liberties. There's no lack of constitutional rights. Nobody can remove that from you. They're God-given. Now, do you see how you have to believe in something in order to give you those rights? And what I can say here is, even if you believe in yourself, say you're God then and fight for your fucking rights, dude. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. That's so real right now, okay? You can't fucking even say you can't feel it. It's so real right now that you cannot even kind of pretend that we're on the brink of a fucking insane occurrence. Why? Because all of the assholes that's talked about 9/11 before 9/11 is starting to talk about some crazy other bullshit. And I'm like, nay, we don't need that. Unify under a singular word. It's possible. Love or respect, which you could pick. But pick one before the other is given. And what I mean is, pick one of these two before you get fucked in your ass by everybody else in the world because you're not paying attention, America, I'm sorry. The world's paying attention. Like, look at China. They just got fucking stabbed up. Somebody's paying attention, okay? Next, what are you looking at as far as every other nation in this world? Our alliances, our fucking friends like Israel, right? Israel is our friend. However, there's a lot of debate on whether or not we should be supporting Israel. My question is, when have we ever agreed with anything that Palestinians have done, period? Not even any of that. Why should I care? Why should I care? Either or. If the Jews don't want to fucking make peace and the Palestinians don't want to make peace, then maybe as the United States of America that doesn't involve themselves in religious wars, we should, go back to the isolationist type theory. Just saying it. Why not? I can't agree with us going back to Iraq. I can't agree with us going into Chechnya or wherever we're going. I can't agree with us going to fucking Kiev. I can't agree with us going into Syria, Iman, all that shit. I don't agree with it. Why? Because we can't even help out our own citizens. And when the fuck is it okay for a police officer to be able to kill a citizen, a free citizen, easier than it is for a combatant soldier to kill another combatant soldier in fucking war? Now that is a fucking thing to ask. So on that note, I want to leave you guys with some positivity. I wanted to leave this short. I wanted to give it quick, and it ended up being this long. That's all right. Well, positively, I am definitely back. Now, the real me is back. Now, I still have my conditions, and I know I'm going to get a lot of bullshit from every fucking organization saying, no, you're fucking back. You said you're back. You fucking feel good. No, motherfucker, I don't feel good. I take morphine, and I take my cannabis, and I take my other medications that balance me out because of my hormonal fucking bullshit, because of fucking exposure, injury, fucking all this shit, okay? Now, that's my personal life. And I was trying to detach that from this, but I want to give it to you so you guys could learn more about what's going to be happening in the next writing, the next article, and things like that, and why your names are going to be given. It's not because I'm trying to dime you out. Yes, I am, but it's because I want you to fix yourselves, not because I don't like you, not because I hate you, and not because I want to destroy something. If it's an organization and I'm writing about it, don't be offended. Look at it and go, oh my God, this happened to Doc? Yeah, happened for me, happened to my wife and my 2 children. The next time anybody says, how could you say this about a person, a company, an organization, they want to come to me first. I'm going to say, why is that your only question? How can I say that about that? Here, like this. They fucked up. That's as easy as I can say it. They made a dick move. Several people I've invested my life in for the past months or year, all I can say is they fucked up. I can't tell you they didn't, because they did. I don't have a fucking nice story. I have a bad one. I know how to tell it nicely, but nobody wants to listen because it's bad. And you don't want to be burdened with that, do you? You just want to have a good day. But what about my day? What about my wife's day? What about my 2 children that you say you love day? What about my puppy's day? What about any day we could be having together if you help me fix this now? You don't want to? That's okay. See, if you were to say, I don't want to, I would agree with that because that's your God-given right. And I wouldn't feel any malice or any negativity. I would feel respect for you in your decision to say, I don't want to. But if you give me indifference, if you make me feel like I'm a fucking ghost before I'm dead, what are you telling me? Nothing. So why the fuck should I care about you? That's the problem I keep having in this world, right? Everybody has it. If you keep telling me I'm not important, I'm not good, I'm not matter, then you don't exist. Your input is not valued. There is no thing in this world that's going to sustain you or your beliefs. You're going to disappear into the abyss. That's it. The end of the night. Guy. Bye. There go. Baba. See ya. Now, the actuality of that is you're allowed to believe in a God that does anything to you or it or that at that point in time. We cannot measure it nor agree on it, right? So we attack people now to what? Discredit that thing we don't believe in? That sounds like a preoccupation of insanity. That's just me. If I were to look up at the United States of America back in the 70s and say, man, in 2015, we're going to be in Mars, we're going to be in the moon, we're going to be fucking doing great shit. As a kid in the 80s, I can say I believed in that. In the 90s, I was a little bit more aware of, no, people are fucking full of shit, man. That's the truth. At 85, I was born, and in 1990, I pretty much accumulated the world's truthiness or actuality. By 5 years old, I can say, no, the world's fucked, bro. Completely, absolutely upside down and fucked. Why? Nobody's asked me ever since a kid, right? How can I say that? The simple fact's that my life is pretty peculiar. I can say a lot of different things. I grew up differently. There was different phases for me than they were for different people. Now, that's everybody's life. Everybody has a different fucking life. Now, if I'm simply asking for respect of my life and you want respect for yours, how do you want me to give a fuck if you don't even kind of pretend like mine's important? I can't, because you don't. So I have nothing to work with. Therefore, I can't do it. I'm willing to work with it, right? You're not giving me any input. So what you're saying is fuck off and die. That's what the VA does to us. We don't need to be doing that for our own community, okay? That's where this positivity is also kind of negativity. It's kind of Nietzsche effect. That's what I like to go with right there, a Nietzsche effect. The truth is, nobody wants you to go off and die. Nobody wants you to kill yourself. Nobody wants you to go shoot up a fucking crazy shit. Nobody wants you to blow yourself up. Nobody wants you to kill or be killed. Nobody wants that. That's the fucking truth. Why? Because people really aren't that fucking bad, man. And if you think there are bad people, ask yourself this. How many people have you seen shot, blown up, disfigured? How many people have you arrested, fucking detained, did medical evaluations on? How many things you've done certain other things on? And all this other stuff, all of these actual tangible issues or events, experiences. And I can't validate that because nobody else believes those occurred because I don't have a diploma or a degree. No, I have a diploma and a degree. It's just not from like Yale or fucking Harvard. In fact, it's kind of incomplete. That's the truth. I'm disabled and I had to discontinue school because of my disabilities. So I'm not allowed to also be intelligent about the things that I know, right? Because I don't have my degree yet. Now, do you see how that leads into that positive, negative about that Nietzsche effect? It's the same goddamn context that if you're not important enough for us to validate or respect your opinion, then you're not existence in our society or community. That's it. There is no in between. There is no gray. It's just that. So if you want to understand what that means, I have met all the qualifications of being respected in any kind of community. Yet am I? No. I have met all the qualifications to be respected as a disabled man from combat and military service and I'm not even fucking properly retired. I can't even get anybody to call me back to say, hey, what the fuck is all this shit about? I don't know how to make that story short enough for you to fucking comprehend. So just go fuck yourself. That's the easiest way for me to say it. Because if you can't ask a simple question, if you want to make thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of fucking dollars in donations, if you want to make all this other shit on all of that other shit, but I simply ask for an experience like to keep me a fucking alive and keep a barrel out of my mouth, and you tell me why? You fucking suck? And you don't even know my work? And yet you're the person that called my fucking phone back. Now, do you see why I would have a problem with you? Now, as a man, I do have a problem with you. Because of what? The indifference. That is it. The community of indifference is what we're having right now. And that's all right. Because that's your right, buddy. But just as much as it's your right, it's my right to go ahead and write about it. I love that. So if I'm allowed to write about everybody and everything, and nobody wants to fucking help me figure out how to write a nice positive, they just want me to write negatives. And I'm going, nevermore. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is write a Nietzsche, okay? Positive, negative, and positive. Because your stupid fucking minds need that shit. You need duality. You need a dichotomy fucking presented to you so you can fucking feel something because you're not thinking on your own. Now, this reminds me of something back in combat. The Cox Center over there. We had a sign that says, complacency kills. Now, if you were an American citizen back in 1901, and you were to compare yourself to a citizen now in 2015, could we say that there's more or worse, better, or anything going on besides capitalism? No, that's literally what it is. That's okay, because that's what we decided as a nation to be our mechanism, right? Our development mechanism, capitalism. The problem is how freely that word capitalism is misunderstood on a grander scale. If you're capitalistic for the individual self up to a point where you're eradicating your own resources and others' resources, and then you have the financial capital to go back and then recapture those resources and alienating and dividing those others that have the same rights and equally to you, then you're not really living in a free society. That is a society controlled by money. And if you do not have it, you do not matter. And you do not have an input. That's literally the society we live in. Literally. You don't have thousands of dollars to go lobby for your own fucking shit. You're not going to get it passed. You don't have fucking people in your back pocket. You're not going to get anything pushed forward. And if you're not already in the industry, you're not going to be in the industry because you're not going to suck somebody's dick. And I'm never going to suck somebody's dick to get into an industry that's a cocksucker anyways. I don't give a fuck about bottom feeding actors and fucking low fucking skilled whatever it is. I'm not giving a fuck about large company fucking CEOs and FEOs and fucking large billion-dollar industries. I don't give a fuck about that perceived positive. And I don't care that you do too. I know you do because that's the only thing you're going after. But that's why you're fucking up. And that's the only reason why everything keeps spiraling, just keeps spiraling out of control. It's because you're reaching out for the wrong fucking balance. It's just like touching a hot wire instead of a ground when you're working with electronics, okay? You're going to get fucking shocked and are killed. Find your ground. Test that motherfucker. Figure it out. Take your time with it. You're allowed to. You're not allowed to just go, oh, yeah, whatever. I voted for this guy. He's not fucking schmuck. But, he's my fucking schmuck. So you fucking schmuck, shut the fuck up. No, bro. It's like this. If that was a janitor and he left a dog shit after you asked him to clean that dog shit up, you're going to fire that fucking janitor. But because you have some kind of God effect on this Congress that we've created, all I'm going to say is that's why it's spiraling out of control. You're idolizing the wrong thing in this country. Everybody is. Even religious groups are fucking up in the fact that they're not preaching about real shit. They're preaching about fucking bullshit. And then going, here's some bullshit for you to fucking believe in. Just fucking put money in the drawer. Nah, that's it. Yeah, make some donations. We care about our veterans. We care about God. And we'll make a donation. No, fuck off. We make t-shirts and shit. Yeah, we fucking do this. No, fuck off. You're not doing shit. Well, you might be, but you're not saying or sharing shit with people that also need the fucking same help. And they're literally groveling at you at your feet saying, please help me, kind sir. It's like saying no to Timmy when he was fucking legless bastard, fucking, what's his name? Scrooge fucking said, yeah, no. There's literally worse people in this world than fucking Ebenezer Scrooge, okay? Spitting on this kid over here saying, I just want a little fucking, help. I just want, here's thousands of dollars of my money. I just want to, no? Okay, well then I'm going to go. This sucks. That's my life. What do you want me to say? I took a fucking trip out to Denver. I thought it was going to work out. Didn't work out. Why? Because people perceived I was only talking about cannabis. That's a stupid fucking assumption there, bud. Why do I care about a plant? I don't. I care about the men and the women that need a plant, that need that medication, or may be able to rely on that medication more than SSRIs or fucking bullshit pills. That is what happened, world. That's the reason why I stopped fucking doing everything with everybody, because nobody fucking helped me out. I paid hundreds of dollars to somebody's personal friend because they couldn't pay a cell phone bill. Why? Because I was asked to. That's it. Okay, I'll step up. I'll help you out. That happened 3 times just in the previous 2 months. And I was willing to do that. Did anybody even fucking reach back and say thank you? No. Did I ever get back on the air and discuss certain things? No, because when I fucking said cannabis actually helps, people say, I don't give a fuck. Fuck off. Go die. And everybody in our community has told me that with indifference, because you haven't given me any standpoint on where we stand. So you're not anything to me. You are indifferent to me. That's the reason why this is a positive negative, because I get to move on with my life. But you guys all still have the same problems. I'm moving on because I understand that it's all bullshit, and I'm not going to feed into the fucking bullshit. I'm going to go ahead and say, no, I'm cutting my losses, and just saying, good luck to everybody. Good luck for both sides. I hope we all win. That's the truth. I'm not in competition against anybody. There's no money that I want to make. There's not a fucking invention. There's nothing up my sleeve. I'm just a dude trying not to fucking understand why anything happens, because it doesn't make sense. Does that make sense? I need to actually fucking pretend like shit doesn't make sense to me so I don't go crazy over the bullshit sense that everybody else is making. It sucks, because then I get labeled as a psychopath because I have PTSD. Now, again, back to that. If you don't know what it's about, why I have it, or where I got it from, or whatever it is, you are worse than any racist bigot I've ever met in my life. You've probably caused more deaths than any other racist bigot in the world. And the fact that you don't comprehend it is the reason why 8,000 lives a year are killing themselves. And when you look at the fact that our society is killing themselves over maybe 40s, 50s, thousands, and this is just in the veteran community. Now, when you look at the society that we live in America, our suicide rate is astronomical. Why? There's a verse that I really like and enjoy, and it transfers in just about every scripture. If you were to focus on the wrong idol, your hope will be cut off from your feet. If you were to pursue ... the double positive, right? The real actual double positive, your hope will never be cut off of your feet. Now, I don't think I'm saying that right. But what I'm saying in that is simply, if a book that has been carried by man, not just one book, several books, and not just one man, but millions and billions of men have done this, trillions potentially, because we don't know how back old these stories go. What we can say is something happened. Somebody existed that unified something, and people got it for a while, and we were at peace for a little bit. Then it fucked up. Why? Because we started pursuing bullshit. That's all it is. That's all the fucking stories ever say. Don't do shit. I'm going to go do that. And you're wondering why it's fucked up. Have respect. Do you know, here's the thing. I watched a video that really was disturbing. It was a bunch of teenagers, mixed group, but primarily black, and a bunch of white officers trying to get them in cuffs. Now, Don't get me wrong. I don't know what the situation was. Nor do I care. What my point is, how the fuck is it that these children do not expect to get shot, tased, fucking beaten by resisting arrest at all? Like they just fucking flaring and fucking screaming and kicking and jumping and holding on to bars. When no, this is where you tase the fuck out of those kids and you mace the fuck out of them so they get deterred next time. It's called the consequence reward principle idea. Pavlovian bullshit, okay? If you listen to the police officers when they're trying to get something from you, it goes smoothly. Now, here's the other part to that. If a police officer were to de-escalate and be kind during an interview and or during an arrest, and I don't mean be kind during an arrest if they're fucking being dickheads, and I don't mean beat their fucking head in, because even in combat, you're not allowed to fucking do that. So, if I'm looking at you as a police officer, sir, peace officer, then you need to be looking at me as a respected citizen. That's it. Now, after that, if I fuck up, go ahead, shoot me. But before that, you're fucking up on step one. These kids had no established fucking any kind of encounter, probably, with police officers. The police officers probably did escalate something beyond what was rational, and these children did not agree with it. Again, I have to focus on it. Children did not agree with it. So how can you have multiple officers even touching children? No, you corral and you detain them. It's very easy. You don't have to touch a single one of them. Put your vehicles around them, put yourselves around them, and start calling parents. It's so much more fucking effective and less paperwork and less fucking legal battles than anything. All you got to do is say, you can't leave this fucking area now. Why? Because we're calling your parents. You're acting like a fucking idiot. Oh, well, this is my right. No, you're not a fucking citizen. You're a fucking child. The citizen that's in charge of you is fucked up, and we're going to issue them a ticket because they don't fucking teach you basic fucking law. So now you have a $500 ticket on your record, and so does your parent. So that's $1,000 to the city of fucking ... Thank you for being an asshole. Now, the peace officer is going to act like an asshole because that's the appropriate time to be an asshole. You're not going to punch anybody because you don't want to fill out all that paperwork and you don't want a potential legal battle. And you also don't want to throw all your other officers under the fucking bus that may need to defend themselves with a punch, with a knife, with a baton, or with a gun every time you over-escalate shit. That is the reason why we get mad at each other, is because actually there's bad cops. And actually, there's idiot fucking citizens and crime and criminals and all that shit and horrible bad Mexicans. Donald Trump, you're actually kind of right. All right? But the problem is it's not the majority. You're focusing on a very, 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 very sharp fucking minority. Now, what I'm saying there, though, is it does exist and it's interwoven in every single tier of administrative and business and logical group that is in control of everything because it's known as political correctness. So if anybody assimilates with political correctness, you could go ahead and figure out that they don't give a fuck about you. They fucking give a fuck about shit. They don't give a fuck. They're indifferent. That's really what political correctness is. I'm so indifferent that I'm offended about anything else that I don't agree with because I'm so fucking shut off. I'm a Berlin Wall myself. Blah, 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 blah. That's the way it is. And these are the fucking liberals. These are the fucking liberals doing this shit. These are the people back in the 70s and the 60s that were fucking doing LSD, peyote, fucking mushrooms and weed and fucking all that good shit saying free love. And now look at them. They're all old and they're the exact same way their parents were. Big fucking old wrinkly dickheads. That's it. Get rid of them. Society needs to fucking go ahead and cull a fucking herd. And it's not the youth. It's never the youth. Not saying kill off old people here, okay? I'm saying look at the leadership values you put in. Look at the consistency of degradation to our constitutional rights. That's all I can say, because that's all that I can actually see. It's the only thing scientifically measurable here in psychological and societal measurement points in any way. The only way you can look at it is there is a degradation to an existent free citizen in the United States of America whom intelligently applicates their constitutional rights in their everyday living. You will be the lone wolf, as they want to accredit it, right? Why? I'm not fucking alone. I live in a fucking nation, you dick. But there are those bad guys out there. Like the guy that just shut up the fucking church and shit. It's fucked up. And here's the beautiful thing. Everybody forgive him because that's what you're called to do. It sucks big old nuts. But knowing that you can forgive that evil that took the beauty in your life, that's going to give you so much more beauty in your life and get rid of that fucking evil immediately. Immediately. That's when I saw justice served, and I never seen that fucking in my entire life. That was fucking justice served. That guy can go be free for the rest of his fucking life and be dealt with on a block, okay? That's the way it's going to happen. But that motherfucker has been forgiven. That's beautiful. That's justice. Now, when you see those courts where, you know, the family riots and fucking beats the guy and everything, that's also good justice. I also agree with that because that's part of the grieving process. And they're allowed to because that piece of shit doesn't deserve any rights, right? Wrong. We're not allowed to do that. We're civil society. We are not allowed to flip the switch on what we think, we feel, or what is we want. We're not allowed to do that because society breaks down when you fucking vary too much like that. And that's why this political correctness shit needs to go fucking back out the door because there's never been a good politician in the history of man. Not good, meaning they can't lead for shit. Look at the Romans. Look at every fucking existence in humanity. Look at the fucking Scythians. Look at the fucking Sumerians. Look at people who existed, the Egyptians, right? Look at history. Look at our history. Look at our history of the United States of America. Let's go ahead, look at the fucking Mexican history. Spanish-American War, right? All that shit. All that. You don't remember the Crusades. You don't remember the conquistadors. All that. Now, here's my point. As a society, my question to it is, if you know a bit of history, why can't you see you're trying to repeat the past? And if you know an individual is bad for you, why do you care more for them? It doesn't make any sense. If a society were to reflect back just minorly on their lives and our existences, we can boldly say our government is broken. We need to fix it. But we can't agree on a single fucking thing because we have zero respect for each other. And they know that. Everybody in leadership utilizes that tactic. Get them to fight each other. And then we get to do whatever the fuck we want. And that's been achieved for the past existence of 60, 50, 70 years. Easily. So, my note to this is I'll be recording, okay? I get bored. I like fucking recording shit. I guess this is long. My bad. But at the end of the day, all I want people to do is understand that I've been through a lot of shit. I'm not asking anything from you or anything of you. If I need help from this point on, it's going to be in the tune of, this is what I need. Can you do it or not? No? Okay, thank you. And if you don't give me an answer, I'll write about it. That's as easy as it is. That's my only thing I have left. I can get mad, but why? Why would I want to carry your burden? You are the only thing that bugs me. So I'm going to write about that. Get rid of that burden. Let everybody know why I have that. Why is that an issue for me for that thing to be there, or that thing to be there, or that thing? Or why my PTSD is different, or what this thing is, or why we need to be training on triggers and training police officers and writing things about good shit and not divisionary fucking things like, oh, you know, if you fucking don't like Jews, fuck the Jews because their policies are fucking... Yeah, fuck everybody's policy, you fucking idiot. Everybody's fucking policy sucks. So if we are going to use our intelligent brain and go, the Jews fucking suck because they're fucking policies, then we need to go ahead and take a breath and go... But the Palestinians' fucking policies also suck. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Whose policies suck the worst dick? Is it the Israelis or is it the Palestinians? Now, here's the best part about that. Why do I give a fuck? Because our policies in the United States of fucking America suck. On the scale of both of theirs, 10 times worse. They're getting rocketed and murdered by an enemy force. Either way you look at that, okay? We're getting destroyed by our government in this soil, on our own soil, from our own leadership. And nobody cares or is writing about that. So no, I don't give a fuck about Israel. Don't care. I hope the best for them, I pray. But you know what? They killed Jesus. can't really fucking give a fuck. Now, when you look at the Palestinians, hey, I don't really give a fuck either. You're Muslim and I love you, but hey, don't give a fuck because you're a bunch of idiots and you're mad and you blow shit up. Don't be an asshole for a few years and maybe I'll come back and visit. Maybe we'll revisit that idea. Maybe we stop blowing shit up and we'll revisit an idea later. Put a pin in it. Don't blow us up. We won't blow you up. Let's put a pin in it and let's come back to it in a fucking year when everybody's acting nice. That works. Or how about this? I really fucking hate the fact that there's engines and inventions and energy outsources and resources, ocean cleaning technology, investment opportunities. There's businesses being constructed. There's cannabis. There's medical research. There's this. Nobody's fucking talking about that shit because they're so goddamn wrapped up in their own fucking bullshit. Now you see why I left it. Because nobody's talking about how cannabis can help a community, really. They're talking about, why do you believe cannabis can help a community? No, bitch. This is how the cannabinoid system fucking take it on. It's how you fucking do it. PTSD is this. You're really fighting your amygdala and your limbic system. That's true. A lot of fucking lizard brains going on. But you're also a dumb fucking ape. So when you utilize your little reptilian brain, because it has the fastest reactionary fucking brain in history. So we are a hybrid of technical animals, right? Technical, because we're not really lizard people, right? But in the context of all these dragons and all this other bullshit, vampires, people can definitely identify with a psychological resemblance in it. You suck the blood out of living creatures. Cool. That's the wealth of our nation. They're nothing but fucking bloodthirsty vampires, okay? You're dumb fucking dogs that protect them. Good, you're the lichens that still believe in fucking vipers. Vipers, same fucking shit. Vampires, okay? Now, if you read stories and all this other beautiful stuff, there's divisions in all this stuff, right? Eventually there's a wolf that says, fuck you, vampire. I know we're equal. You're being a fucking dick. And they're going to look at that guy and go, oh. Nobody will agree with that guy because you're fucking everything else up. But here's the truth. We're not fucking vampires and werewolves. We're human fucking beings with God-given rights. I don't give a fuck about rich people, poor people, middle-class people. I give about people. Now, do you see how that should be? Again, I'm not allowed to say we should be, but people are allowed to say I shouldn't say. So that's fucking interesting, right? I'm not allowed to have an expectation of the society I fucking invested in, right? But you're allowed to have an expectation of me? No. Go fuck yourself. Now, on that note, the positive negative, that Nietzsche effect, right? How is it possible that I'm saying go fuck yourselves and also saying, look, understand that it's just me saying it as a joke. Don't actually go fuck yourself, okay? Reach out and talk. Nobody's reached out and talked to me in fucking months. And I'm going, beautiful. Beautiful, because that's the data I didn't want. I didn't want the data that I got. Okay? I didn't want the fucking negativity that I got. And I didn't put out negativity for fuck sure. But it was perceived as negativity. And here's the worst part, is it came from every angle. And the flood of information was so fucking vapid that I couldn't keep track of it all. So I have to go back and keep looking at it and keep reading and keep trying and understanding what this message really meant. Did I read it wrong? Did I understand it wrong? Was that message wrong? Did he say it wrong? I have to reinterpret all this stuff. That's the reason why I like audio engineering. Okay? It's not because I want to make millions of dollars. No, it's because I utilize it to help me memorize things and remember and also grow and develop. It helps me reconnect things into my brain. It helps me remap my brain in order to function normally, or at least my fucking accepted self normal. Because if Caitlyn Jenner needs to be fucking normal to look like that, that's their normal, and everybody fucking accepts it, and Clint fucking Eastwood can't even make a goddamn joke. Look, bro, we've lost our fucking minds, all right? I'm asking for the same amount of respect, nothing different. I'm not saying I hate that motherfucker or I hate anything like that. I love him. But do you see how none of them fucking seem to give a fuck about me? So why the fuck should I care? And that's not just the fucking transgenders. It's not just the LGBTs. It's not just the blacks or the whites or the Mexicans. It's the fucking everyone's. And people go, well, but what? Why are you so mad? I'm not mad at all, man. I'm fucking happy. I get to smoke cannabis. I get to raise 2 beautiful boys, and I got my wife and my service animal. He fucking saved my life more than any motherfucker I've served with, period. That's okay for me to say. Except for Young. Young's fucking saved me more than fucking, oh my God. Yeah, Young. But what I'm saying there, look at who I am before you fucking make a judgment of me. Because if I write the things that you currently have put to me, you will be judged. That's the only way it works. Now, I'm not saying I'm not going to do it to protect you, because I'm actually going to do it to help you. But understand that that's what you did to me first. So we're clear. Society did that to me first. They said, fuck you first, when I said I needed help. Now I'm saying fuck you to society, and they're telling me to go fuck myself. But I'm going, you guys all told me fuck you first. No, now go fuck yourself, buddy. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to go fuck myself, and then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to say, hey, I just had the best fucking orgasm of my life because I knew exactly where to fucking touch myself because I paid attention. They're going to say, well, that's fucking nice for you, buddy. You want a cookie? It's a never-ending cycle of jealousy, hate, corruption, and fucking anger. Now do you see why those false prophets of making so much money doesn't exist? Why those false prophets of CEOs and billionaires and organizations that claim to help veterans don't really exist? And I'm wrong for saying that you're an idiot for paying into it blindly. And yet I'm the veteran that you claim to want to help, and nobody ever does. They rather cast me out and tell me to go fuck myself and fuck off. By indifference and literal fucking words. I was told that. Fuck off, I'm drinking beers. Okay. Thanks. I did not know that was you. Now I know that is you. I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about your business. I don't give a fuck about your dreams. I don't give a fuck about your family, your life. That's the way it works, right? Because that's the way everybody treats me. Now, like I said, this is a Nietzsche positive, right? If that's the fucking way I've been treated, and I'm telling you, hey, that's what you've given me, world, not what I've given you. Now, what would be the easiest fix in that entire message? The same thing like at the beginning, the positive, that Pavlovian fucking, what's it called? Consequence, reward, right? It's the same thing. If you de-escalate a situation as a police officer, you're probably not going to have to shoot somebody, and you're probably not going to get shot. That's the fucking actuality, all right? Now, some fucking instances, you don't have that. There's nothing. That's called the fucking God, okay? That's fucking, you need to be prepared for that shit, all right? That's what I call it, man. I call it God intervening because some shit didn't, Murphy's Law, okay? Whatever you fucking want to call it. I say that's God and Jesus saying, motherfucker, you should have been paying attention. Here's a bump now. Now you're going to have to learn something. Now that does come at a price every fucking time, okay? We don't need a big bump. Let's have this little bump and understand that this little bump can now unify us as a community, us as a society by going, what do we really want? R-E-S-P-E-C-T, that's what I need for me, little bit of, R-E-S-P-E-C-T, That's what I need. Now suck it to me, suck it to me, suck it to me, suck it to me. Now, I know it sounds completely negative, I guess. I don't fucking know. Because everybody always comes back to me saying, well, you sound so bad and negative. Like, did anybody read my article completely through? No? Okay, then fuck off. Like, what do you want me to say? You want me to read your fucking bullshit about divisionary fucking concepts and ideas? You want me to read your bullshit about anger and hate continuously for the fucking eternity of the rest of my life? You want me to say that that's our community and what our entire community believes? But I can't agree with it. Why? Because that's not our entire community. Our entire community is not just veterans. It's not just fucking war fighters. It's not just fucking war heroes and soldiers and special operators. It's not just fucking CIA agents and fucking FBI agents. It's not just cops. It's not just fucking firefighters and first responders. It's drug dealers. It's prostitutes. It's gangbangers. It's fucking heroin addicts. It's crackheads. It's fucking potheads. It's fucking debauchery and fucking lowlifes. It's about rapists. It's about fucking all of it. And you don't get to fucking pick and choose who's important. Why? You don't have that right. Nobody has that right to say anybody is more or less. That's not one of the God-given rights in this constitutional United States, nor is it in any Bible, nor is it anything. In fact, that's the only thing, everything, the Constitution, the Bible, that everything says. Don't be a fucking dick and watch everything work out, bro. Indians used to believe that before what? There was a shift. What shift? Oh, the shift. Everybody knows. They talk about it. They talk a societal shift. And they're also talking of another societal shift. All Native Americans and fucking Indians, and I shouldn't say Indians, but Hindus as well, and as well as Mexicans and different sects around there, Costa Ricans, there's ancient tribes that believe not in societal shifts as in grand, disfiguring moves, much like, I'd say, Caitlyn Jenner's grand shift, right? Not like that. What I would say is it's more of a societal psychological shift. Like the Renaissance abridged a new generation of thinking, we, too, in this age, will come to terms with a new form of actuality. Because of the 13, 14-year-long war, because of all the wars that are going to occur soon, and all the things that are going to put us in a fine situation of absolute fuckery, because we don't want to carry the burden of others, when we should just carry that small burden so we don't create this huge burden. And that's what our society doesn't understand. You create a huge burden every time you dump off those tiny little burdens. Why? They don't go anywhere. It's like luggage. An airport with luggage. If you don't get everybody their case back, you got luggage sitting around, right? One luggage thing doesn't fucking matter much, right? 2, yeah, all right, that's adding up. 3, 4, you do 1 year of this, right? You have thousands of fucking luggages. What the fuck do you do with that? You can't store all that shit, and you're definitely not going to be able to mail it back or find everybody, usually. Not everyone. Hopefully, but not everyone, okay? Now, here's the thing. Where does all of that shit go? That's a stupid fucking problem for an airport, I think of, right? But it probably is a big problem. Here's the other thing, too, security-wise. Why are we fucking transfixed on shoes, x-rays, and making it inconvenient for the customer? Well, because the terrorist might be a potential customer. All right, cool. Then shouldn't there be just a little bit better process than, I don't know, get on a plane, buy a ticket, get on a plane and fucking whatever, and hopefully TSA catches something? There should be a different process, right? Because in a bureaucratic system like the one I've been through with the VA, I can tell you there's processes to definitely figure out all the different shit that everybody's arguing about. Like this recent one, faking PTSD. Yeah, it's really easy. Here's the best part. You don't get to fucking determine on what the fuck it is that person's lying about. You don't even know what the fuck it is their problem is. I worked in medicine for 7 years, and I can tell you right now, the major problem in all medical services is that preconceived knowledge when you walk into a patient's room. You think they're full of shit. You fucked up already. Even if they're full of shit lying to you, I guarantee you're going to find something wrong with that person. Get them out of the fucking shit with that shit. I don't give a fuck. He's not going to be operable. Get him the fuck out of the field. We can't fix that. Get him the fuck out of my face. Get him all his fucking shit, because guess what? We get fucking blown up Iraqis and fucking all this other shit that try to kill us, right? The same fucking shit. They get thousands of dollars. They get fucking family taken care of. They get protected. They get all that fucking shit over there. Not really, because that's a lie, right? But that's fucked up. They should. And here's the real truth. Nobody gets it except congressmen and presidents and CEOs, CFOs. Do you know even in the San Diego County, you can't get a CCW unless there is a authorized fucking reason? The sheriff actually prohibits and sets a price on how much you need to make as anything, a business and or an individual, in order to deserve a gun, as well as need one. You have to have documented fucking threats, all that shit. It's so fucking stupid that I'm going, okay, then, hey, all you gays and all you fucking everybody out there that fucking wants to say I'm fucking whatever. Okay, here, look. I love gays. I love lesbians. I love everybody that loves and hates pussy, because when you love pussy, you are just like me. And if you hate pussy, that means there's more pussy for me. And I love that. Now, if you're a transgender or a bi, that's fucking cool. I don't give a fuck. Have at it. Have a good time. But now do you see how I still care for every one of those groups, right? But as a straight, white-looking man, nobody's going to raise their hand and say, what's wrong with your life, buddy? Why? Because they're so distracted by everything else. Those individual isolationary type titles like lesbian, gay, transgender, straight, it really doesn't matter. It's all one term, sexuality. We don't need to get into subdivisory groups to say you have more or less rights or you need more or less assistance. We have agreed disabled is pretty much the word we need to mark a person with in order to give them assistance in our society. That doesn't occur anymore, man. It doesn't even fucking occur. I can't walk some days and I still cannot get a fucking handicap placard from my doctor because she says, oh, you can't walk all the days. I'm like, really? She goes, well, yeah. And then you can't walk up to the thing and like get it and they'll not give it to you. And I'm like, that's not what I see. That's not what I've seen. That's not what I've been told. That's not what the process is. What the fuck are you telling me? I asked you for assistance, not a fucking excuse. I asked you for a fucking receipt or fucking ticket to go get a service dog. You didn't know where to fucking do that. So you just wrote me a fucking note saying he needs a service dog. Cool. Did it help? No, because I reached out to every single organization and got a lot of smoke up my ass. Like I said, I have a lot to write about. And clearly today I had a lot to talk about. So I'm going to wrap this up, guys. I had a lot of fun right now. I hope you guys did too. I haven't talked in a while. I took a long break and probably, do this every other month or a month and just kind of summarize all the bullshit because nobody's really fucking talking about us or the real actual truth in a context of it's okay, we're all fucking up and we just need to fix it. Nobody does that because nobody wants to be a fuck up and nobody wants to admit that they fucked up. Everybody wants to point the finger and say, you fucked up, not me. No, bitch, we're all fucking up. Every single one of you. Everyone. Except me, because I'm not involved anymore. You've made that decision, not me, world. You could bring me in on it at any point, but you've all casted me out to this point where I'm indifferent about your existences. So all those things I posted on Facebook about how you should talk to me and how we should be able to engage, the contracts, the discussion points, the obligatory rights as far as visionary art, auditory art, and every kind of dimension of legalities, it still stands because I do not make those rules. I simply follow and abide those rules. The dude abides, bro. All I know is, hey, if something's similar and is something the exact, and I know I have it on a hard copy, and I know I have the fucking everything else, and I also have the network and all these people on it and all this other stuff and all these organizations and everybody can see it. And every time you do see it, it puts your little fucking face right next to it because it's Facebook. And now that information is saved. And in a couple years or a year, I'm going to say, oh, look at this memory. Remember? Because I lied to you and we never fucking called you back. See, that's how I remember it. Not because I'm fucking crazy. Because people don't understand that they're very easily surveyed, observed, and cataloged. Now, that's actually what I'm writing about. Just a hint for you. How is it that you give up so much information that I could literally pick you guys apart if I wanted to, but I'm not because I'm not a fucking asshole. What I'm going to do is teach you guys what the fuck is going on wrong. Very slowly. Methodically, because that's the way you want it. You don't want it just fucking given to you. You don't want it to just be like, oh, okay, yeah, we got this. Fuck, we fucked up. Doc, man, good job. Thank you. You reminded me of what the fuck was going on. Thank you. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted to do because I actually want to focus on raising my kids. Then it turned around to all this other bullshit, trying to get Devil Dog Bach off the ground, getting investors, getting partners that fucking blew smoke up my ass. It was nothing but a shit show. And then yesterday it hit a point to where I was fucking drunk. And I was like, I remember when I was fucking chilling out, with my mushrooms, fucking tripping. None of this fucking matters. Everybody's going to eventually get it. So I shouldn't give a fuck. But I do because I care. But I shouldn't have a worry. Luke 12:22, do not worry about your life, the clothes you will wear, the food you eat, or the water you drink. Consider the raven. The Lord provides for him and her. So much that don't you believe that it will provide for you? Ye of little faith. And it goes on and on and on. Why? Why would that be important to reestablish in a nation under God? Under God. Right? Let's fucking find out some basic shit. What did God teach? Respect, love, compassion. What did Jesus Christ preach? Love, respect, and compassion. Love, respect, and compassion. That's all it is, man. It's very simple, but you forget it because of how simple it is. It's just like in math. You fucking overstep this thing. You fucking mess up the whole problem. But if it's in the base, you got to fucking go all the way back. It's always the same fucking thing, man. So let's get smart. It's 2015, Laura. And all I can say is that's going to get good. People are wising up. People are writing more. People are reading more. People are investing more in the right things. Don't get me wrong, those cuckoos are still out there. I'm probably one of them in your eyes, and I don't care. I'd rather be a cuckoo than like anybody that disagrees with anything that I say today. I'd rather be much more the opposite of everything in you if that's what you need to move on with your life, because I know I'm the same and with slight differences. You think I'm so different with slight familiarities. See, the difference there is I've accepted you. You have not accepted me. That's okay. I am not supposed to give a fuck anymore. So I can't. So world, I'm moving on. I'm going to be getting all this different stuff, hopefully figured out how to get a retirement fucking title and, get all my paperwork fixed and all that shit. And it'll probably take a few years, but I don't give a fuck. I might get back pay like I'm supposed to, but I don't know how to do it. And when I ask for people's help, like on a lawyer, nobody ever tells me anything. So I got to figure it out by myself. Right? Probably not. I'm probably not going to do that. It's too much of a fucking headache. I'd rather just brew a beer and fix my own fucking life. Or fucking start another cannabis oil fucking industry. Like that. Why should I try to get you all to do the right thing when you should have done the right thing before? And you don't want to do the right thing now. You want me to fucking fix it for you and then tell you how to fix it after I did it for you. Because guess what? If I knew how to fucking fix it, I'm not going to come back and say, this is how we fix it. I'm just going to fucking fix it. That's the way a man fucking works. Okay, world? That's the reason why there's so many dudes out there going, why don't you give a fuck about me? I do care about you, but I'm not allowed to. I have to remain stoic. Because I'm a fucking combatant. I can't be opportunized or exploited because I know that's what they're trying to do to me. And if they do that to me, they're going to get you. I don't want that. So again, if we as a society were to mutually respect all our differences, difference of religion, difference of sexuality, difference of acceptance, and difference of approach, maybe we won't need a cataclysmic fucking apocalyptic war. Maybe we may be able to avoid it. Maybe we should be able to also avoid famine. We should also be able to avoid fucking droughts. The fact that California is in a drought, let me go ahead and say the majority of it's horseshit, okay? There's so much fucking water being contained in all these different reservoirs, underground reservoirs, and all this different shit right now. But you ask yourself why. Go ahead and say Nestle's trying to fucking make that a commodity again, or should say ever. They're trying to make water a resource that they can capitalize on. So why would you restrict it? There is no shortage of water. Yes, we didn't get rainfall. There's no fucking shortage of water, you fucking idiots. It's the same thing as you saying there's a shortage of fucking oil. Dig deeper. There's going to be more. And more and more and more and more and more every time you look. In fact, there's glaciers you could fucking start getting this shit off of, literally, and shipping it in. Or you can fucking do a reverse osmotic fucking coastline and do all the fucking reverse osmotic fucking water in the world. And actually create byproduct known as salt. Very valuable in this world. Now, I'm not a genius, but do you see how that's going to be easier to do than, I don't know, kill millions of people by famine and starvation? But nobody wants to have that conversation. We want to focus on a bullet that can curve around and blow somebody's head off. Okay, that's old school, bro. Old school technology right there. You just need to aim it in. And let the gravity fucking take you, buddy. It's really interesting. You know, technically, long distance bullets actually should never even be accredited to the shooter. It's really kind of God just going, yeah, I'm going to make sure that bullet gets there. He did his math right. He tried really hard. It's not true. Clearly, I'm all right. I am a little bit upset still, and I was very, very angry and hurt by the people that I talked to and reached out to. I am severely, there's a chip, I'm over it. I accept it and I apologize and I fucking forgive everybody that's offended me. But I do feel very wronged by very many people. The fact that I paid somebody's friend's cell phone bill, the drop of a dime, just because they asked, and yet I never receive a phone call back from these people or a thank you or fucking, oh, this is how we can help you do that. This is how we can help you do that. Oh, you're going to be homeless. This is how we can help you do this. This is how you do it. Your wife are having a problem. This is how we do it. Never. And yet that's all they talk about doing. And I've done all these things for them for months for free. All this different stuff. It's worth thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars. And I'm going, but nobody wanted to turn around and help me. Nobody even wanted to call me back and say, what the fuck is going on? What are you talking about? Nobody's helping you. Nobody's helping me figure out shit. I don't know how to go back and get my back payment. I don't know how to fucking fix my paperwork. I don't know how to get solidified as permanently disabled. I don't know how to go back to school because they said if I go back to school, they're going to take away my fucking benefits, which is illegal for them to even fucking threaten me to keep me away from that, because you cannot fucking have a punitive action on a disabled man contractually or contractually unless they are aware of it and or legally processed through due process given that fucking procedure. There's no fucking law that protects a corporation over an individual disabled man. None whatsoever. But society wants to accept the fact that that is, right? So their policies are overwritten of our laws, which doesn't make any sense. And you want to complain and bitch about it when you fucking go pay them billions or millions of dollars of your tax money and all that fucking different shit when they fuck up. But when a man like me wants to say, hey, all I need is not your money, your fucking attention, you won't give me a fucking cent of that. Sad. I make money. Where do you think I'm poor? Is that why you don't like me? I love black women. I married one. Is that why you don't like me? I don't like blacks. Oh, it's because I don't like lesbians, gays, and transgenders, right? No, one of my fucking sisters is transgender, and well, I like Bruce Jenner. He's still, cool, but now he's Caitlyn. That's okay. Doesn't change who he is. Bisexuals, I have cousins, I have fucking all that. Lesbians, tons of lesbians in my family. That's how I know for sure I'm straight, because even the females in my family love pussy. Ha! Funny. Oh, I was actually writing that one the other day. So my entirety here, world, and the reason why I guess I was going to keep it short and then I just kind of opened up is because I like this. I like talking to you all. I've never not liked talking to you all. You all stopped liking talking to me because I talk too much negative and you don't want to carry the burden. And I'm like, you're not carrying shit. You're just listening. Literally, you're not carrying shit. Any of you. You're just listening. So tell me how the fuck you get exhausted. Tell me how the fuck that burden weighs on your soul. Tell me, how does that burden hurt you and your family and your wife and your children? Because mine does. I see it. I see the detachment me and my wife had, me and my children have, and everything else that I feel in my soul and in my heart. But nobody seems to understand what the fuck my point is, right? My burden is different. I carry that, like the cross of Jesus Christ, right? Carry your cross, all that shit. I put my cross down a long time ago, dude. I've never needed to be crucified for my Lord and Savior because my Lord and Savior was crucified for me. I know that. I know that I was forgiven the moment Jesus Christ was even kind of conceived. Fucking absolutely conceived. The thought of that, that's when I was free. Ain't no man owe me. Ain't no fucking buddy else but Almighty God. And there's nobody in this world that could fucking tell me different. And if they want to, that's the time I need to fucking shoot them in the fucking head. That's the truth. You start threatening my existence, my belief in God, my fucking faith that gives me all this world peace and all this love and all these answers. And only thing that you give me is death and hate and anger. And you want me to say you're not the person to shoot in the fucking face? You're going to have a really, really, really tough time convincing any crowd of my fucking experiences of opposite of that. everybody's going to want to shoot you in the fucking face. A lot of people want to shoot a lot of people in the fucking face, but there's men that actually know when and how and where and then when it's appropriate. They're trained to. Now, people are like, oh, they're just assassins and murderers. No, man. Yeah, but no. They do that because they can. They can carry that burden. Can you? No. That's why your ass is sitting behind a fucking chair underneath some fluorescent lights, and you're sitting in front of probably a computer. You got your feet up on a nice little crane. Who the fuck knows? You're probably in air conditioning. Who the fuck cares, right? You don't fucking know what the burden is. You don't know these men or women's fucking burden to serve in the military. And you definitely don't know what it means to be a veteran of that military. So if you want to talk about burden, and if you want to talk about trials and tribulations, look, you need to really look at the community that carries all of it, because there's not a single black man in the world that's ever done anything for a black community. It was the black community that did it for himself. There was never a single Mexican man that did anything for the Mexican community. It was the Mexican community that did it for themselves. It was never an individual of America that said, I'm going to make up this fucking shit and we're going to follow it. No, it was a bunch of people. And they all agreed, but it took a while because they knew it was the best option. And then they fought for it. So, why aren't we fighting for anything anymore except fighting each other over meaningless, materialistic bullshit? It's because we've gone psychologically in reverse of everything we thought we were, because we didn't even want to accept the fact that the other existed. We just refused and gave up and didn't want to carry the burden because it was exhausting. And then a substantiary group, a small group, substantially small group, sustained the brunt of this 13-year war burden. And we bailed out billionaires with billions of dollars, but we won't give them shit. The actual people that carry the burden of this nation. We'll give congressmen and fucking senators that literally sit around, fuck their interns and snort cocaine and fucking fuck prostitutes in Colombia while being protected by the Secret Service while they're tag teaming fucking other prostitutes and not even pay the bitch $20 fucking, just $7. Just pay the bitch $20 fucking. What the fuck? Anyways, that's what really happens, bro. You want to know the rule? The real world? Benghazi was nothing but an arms trade and people fucking got caught up in it. Oops. Hillary Clinton doesn't need to fucking say shit. We already know it all. And people are asking for her to be a president. She talks too much, man. You kidding me? Dude, you could read that bitch fucking cleaner than a goddamn Dr. Seuss book. Very easy. You want me to lie? Look at Putin. That son of a bitch trying to do a lot of shit. Look at China. All that shit's going crazy. So what does that mean about you and me, right? What does that mean in America? What does that mean for our future? What does that mean? It means you might get dragged into the bullshit because you're not solidifying any single boundary or any single protocol or any single policy to protect yourselves. Like I said in the beginning, or middle, third, tertiary part of this, I'd say, when we bailed out those bankers and all those fucking assholes with billions of our American dollars, right? 800 billion. They still haven't paid it all back, number one. And we didn't negotiate any kind of ROI, return of interest on that, or any kind of interest on anything. Why don't we elect an official that will do that for us? Why don't we elect somebody that doesn't need something for us, from us, but wants everything for us? Why don't we actually elect an official that is what we believe in? What is actually what we believe in, not just a political fucking correctness. He'll fucking stand up and say, look, I'm not allowed to cuss here, but you're pushing the issue. And say that. Because I'm not going to tell you that it's not beyond repair. Because it's not. It's borderline beyond repair, but it's not beyond repair. There is a very small window of opportunity here. But if we don't even go looking for that window, man, we're going to fuck ourselves straight out the get-go. Just like in math. Do the mathematics. Think about everything. Think about what we talked about today. Just take this as me saying, hi, world, I'm okay. Or listen back and actually take something out of it. I don't fucking care. Have a good day, man. Have a good life. Invest in yourself, all that good shit. Try out the Ty Lopez 67 steps. It's fucking awesome. Read some fucking books, fucking smoke some cannabis, fuck your wife, fuck your girlfriend, do whatever, boyfriend, whatever. Play with your vibrator. Do something for yourself today, and then do it again tomorrow. Okay? And then the next day, do that thing, but then go, you know what? I'm doing this for myself now because I enjoy it. Try that. You don't want to do the 30-minute thing like I did fucking last year. I was like, hey, world, if you just fucking, for 30 minutes, fuck yourself. Fuck off. Just literally touch something different of your body. Get engaged with yourself. Look outside, get sunburnt, do something. Something, man. All right, then I'm going to keep going. The old lady's flagging me down. But I had a really great time talking, catching up and everything. Listen, tune in. I'll be posting this up today, probably. And there's not going to be anything else going on. If somebody wants to do an interview, call me up. I'll do an interview with you. We can talk about your products, but if you want to just plug shit, not actually carry over and have a synergistic relationship, I don't mind writing horrible reviews about every single product that I've talked about in the past or organizations. It's called real valid absolute information, so I shouldn't even kind of retain it. That's my obligatory right as a journalist. So in saying that, the next articles, the next things I'll be writing is definitely going to stir so much shit up that I don't give a fuck. Because when you look at it, why are you going to get mad at me? A disabled man that's asked for help since 2010 has gotten nothing but homelessness, bankruptcy, almost lost his family just because nobody wanted to absolutely fucking assist us. That's the truth. No organization, no person, no individual, no friend, nobody that I can actually say is even on my phone, anybody that would do anything for me in my time of need. No one. That's the reason why I believe in God and Jesus Christ. And people go, yeah, but they fake. I'm like, really? It's the only real thing in actuality because I haven't killed myself yet, right? And I'm a pretty logical guy. And the only thing I believe in is the simple fact that there's always going to be opportunity within adversity. And that's it. Turning chicken shit into chicken salad has been my thing ever since I was a kid. So might as well do it for the rest of us, right? But if you don't want that, I don't mind giving you my chicken shit and eating my chicken salad, laughing at you, knowing you could turn it into a chicken salad the moment that you accept it as chicken salad, not chicken shit. Now, if you have a problem understanding that, go ahead and rewind that 7 times, re-listen to it, and think of it in 3 different mindsets. Then come back at me if you've got a fucking problem. All right. I love you guys. I love everybody out there that's having a difficult time. If you're low, if you're depressed, if you're sad, don't fucking reach out to a goddamn call line. They don't give a shit. Don't reach out to a fucking organization. Don't give a shit. Don't reach out to your fucking best buddy or some fucking people that are selling some t-shirts because they honestly don't give a fuck. So let me just tell you what to do. Here's the rule number 1. Find something that's you, in you, that you like. This is the 5 rules, okay? We're going to learn 5 rules right now. Rule number 1, learn something about yourself today, every day. That's rule number 1. Learn something about yourself every day. Rule number 2, do something for someone else every day. Holy shit, that's some fucking easy shit, right? Rule number 3, don't be a fucking dickhead. All right, cool. Rule number 4, be safe at all times. And rule number 5, have fun. Okay? Those are the simple 5 rules. You go ahead and follow that shit, and I guarantee you, me and you are never going to have a problem, and you and anybody else is probably never going to have a problem. So in that essence, I just gave you the meaning of life and some bunch of peace, potential making skills. Good luck. I love you all. And if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, I want you to fucking put your face in a pillow and scream into it, knowing that I don't give a fuck. Okay? Love you. Bye.